Officials were preparing to meet for those talks today in Belarus. As one official put it, today shows that this is not only a war, it is murder of us. Wow. Also today, the UN held that rare emergency meeting of the General Assembly while Russia continued to rain terror down on Ukraine. Ukrainian ambassador Serhiy Kislycha.
Innocent civilians have been killed and wounded. The exact numbers is very difficult to estimate because of the warfare, while the negotiations are still on the way at the border with Belarus.
Yeah, that was earlier. Speaking of Belarus, the U.S. asking Americans who are still in that region, why are you still there in the wake of all of this? Here's Cammie McCormick.
The U.S. suspended operations at the embassy in Minsk and is now urging Americans to leave Belarus immediately. Americans have also been urged to leave Russia, though commercial flights there are becoming less available. Russia has banned airlines from 36 countries. Americans are also being urged to leave Moldova.
And the exodus continues out of Ukraine. The UN says there has been at least 500,000, with most of them escaping into Poland. Poland indicating today they are now struggling, trying to get everybody processed. Today alone, they processed 76,000 people. Wins News Time 426. And now Bloomberg Money Watch here on 1010 Wins. And here is Andrew O'Day.
More stocks move lower than higher today as Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the fallout over new Western sanctions in response weighed heavily on markets. Although our indexes ended far off of session lows, Dow ended down 0.5%, 166. Nasdaq rose 57. Moving more aggressively today was the oil market. Traders priced in scenarios including disruptions to global oil supply from Russia and talks by Western countries of a possible coordinated release of oil held in strategic reserves. Crude futures advanced more than $4 to a quarter shy of $96 a barrel. The world's biggest portfolio of publicly traded companies is Norway's $1.3 trillion sovereign wealth fund, and today in a first, Norway, which shares a small border with Russia, is starting to remove Russian assets from that fund. $2.8 billion of Russian holdings are now frozen. Until this move, Norway had avoided ever mixing politics with its savings. Dow loses 166, Nasdaq up 57. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Andrew O'Day for 1010 Wins.
And that's something, Wins family, to put it in perspective, when our markets drop 1-2% or 0.5%, as Drew just mentioned, we kind of freak out because you know it affects our 401ks. Russia dropped 30%. As I mentioned, their dollar is worth less than a penny on the American dollar. That's something else. Now this message, Riverside Memorial Chapel, generations, a symbol of Jewish tradition and uncompromising quality. Wins News Time, 427.
Now at T-Mobile, you can get the incredible iPhone 13 on us on the network with more 5G bars in more places.
This is the year, Amelia. The year I become a famous influencer.
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
I just got the new iPhone 13 at T-Mobile. It has the most advanced dual camera ever on an iPhone. So my videos and photos are gonna look amazing. And check it out. I have 5G, even out here.
Oh.
I'll be able to post tons of content. Plus, influencers gotta stay fresh, you know?
Nice. So where are you going to learn to sing or dance or something?
Better. Yodeling. Woo, let's hike up that hill and do a live stream. Yodeling.
I'm good. Thanks.
Head into T-Mobile today, because when you switch, you can get the new iPhone 13 on us on every plan with eligible trade-in. All on T-Mobile's 5G network, with more 5G bars in more places. 24 monthly bill credits with qualifying new line plus tax for well-qualified customers. Contact us before canceling service to continue remaining bill credits or credit stock and balance and required finance agreements too. T-Mobile is America's largest 5G network. Details at T-Mobile.com.
Today on Hey Culligan, sustainability and better water. Here's Sam.
Hey Culligan, I'm really into sustainability. My clothes, my utensils, my food. But how do I get more sustainability from my water?
Super question, Sam, and the answer is an always-on drinking water system from Culligan, which helps eliminate the equivalent of 15 billion single-use plastic bottles a year.
Whoa, that's a ton of sustainability.
416,000 tons, Sam, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Exergen would like you to know about an important new study by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has always known. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate, and they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. With new strains of COVID on the rise, we can't afford to tolerate rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Stop by Church's for the hot-flying flavor combination of our Texas tenders and shrimp meal today. It's butterfly shrimp alongside made-from-scratch Texas tenders, served spicy or original for $6. Church's, welcome to the great state of flavor. Offer valid at participating locations.
Mostly clear, brisk, and cold tonight, everybody. We'll get some cloudiness overnight with a low of 28 degrees in town. Closer to 20 in some of the inland suburbs. We're at 35 right now in Central Park. Good afternoon. I'm Larry Mullen. At Zone 430.
Good afternoon. I'm Monique Coppola. Now to the latest with the Russian invasion of Ukraine, where it is 11:30 at night. Day 5 of the fighting coming to an end. The Russian military claiming it hit over 1,100 Ukrainian military installations earlier. Talks between the two sides aimed at ending the fighting lasted close to 5 hours. According to one official, some common ground was found. Another round of talks expected to take place in the coming days on the Polish-Belarusian border. Meanwhile, the International Criminal Court opens an investigation into the invasion. More from ABC News.
While Ukrainian forces are slowing down the Russian invasion, Pentagon spokesperson John Kirby warned...
Make no mistake, Mr. Putin still has at his disposal significant combat power. He hasn't moved all of it into Ukraine, but he's moved the majority of it. He still has a lot that he hasn't moved into Ukraine.
But Putin is feeling pressure, not just from Ukrainian forces and civilians, but from international sanctions, which are sending Russian currency and stocks into a freefall. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki called Russian President Vladimir Putin one of modern history's great NATO unifiers.
What you're looking at here is a unified Europe, a unified West, a unified NATO, standing up to the aggression and the invasion led by President Putin.
Talks today between Russian and Ukrainian delegates in Belarus did not produce a ceasefire. The UN refugees fleeing Ukraine now numbering over 500,000. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Wednesday News Time 4:31. Time for traffic and transit. Here's Greg Rice.
Now, whatever it was at the outer bridge no longer is. They have just reopened all lanes in either direction. Not long after having 3 out of 4 lanes closed, everything flows again over at the outer bridge. But the head closures in there long enough. Out of New Jersey, 440 northbound standstill from right around the area of Route 35. And leaving Staten Island, the southbound of West Shore and Korean War Veterans Parkway loaded up. Getting to the outer bridge, if you got the choice right now, Goethals Turnpike combination still does a whole lot better. Eastbound Belt right off the Verrazano, bunched up to Flatbush, even with an earlier wreck on. That too is there long enough to do the damage. Lincoln Tunnel right now getting into the city. We're looking at no more than about 15 minutes. Outbound side of the Lincoln Tunnel, it's about 20 off of 11th, better from 9th. Holland Tunnel 30 out, inbound the next to 20 from the Skyway, better from the Newark Bay. Citybound George behaves upper and lower. There's just nothing easy out, but getting easier onto the southbound side of the major Deegan Expressway. Eastbound LA, it's been bad the whole day, and rush hour just compounds that. It crawls from Van Dam Street deep into Nassau County. In a jam, like on the Long Island Expressway, call the Barnes Firm traffic tip line at 844-JAM-1010. That's 844-JAM-1010. Traffic sponsored by the Barnes Firm. I'm Greg Rice. Our next report at 441 on 1010 Wins.
I'm attorney Rich Barnes. If you've been hurt in a slip and fall accident, choosing the right firm is critical to get the help you need and the best result possible.
Manhattan, Long Island.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Here's meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Monique, it will be brisk into this evening. We have just a few high clouds overhead right now. There will be a few more clouds mixing in as the night goes on tonight. A low down to 28 in the city. It will be closer to 20 in some inland suburbs. Now, as we get through tomorrow, it will turn out breezy and certainly milder than today with more clouds and sunshine. High tomorrow up to 48. Partly to mostly cloudy tomorrow night. There could be a shower of rain or wet snows. We'll get down to a low of 38. And then a breezy, mild day Wednesday with sun and clouds, high 52. Brisk and chillier for Thursday despite some sunshine, a high of 44. And a cold day Friday with a fair amount of sunshine. Friday's high about 38 degrees. 35 right now. It is sunny in Central Park. Humidity 19%. Wind is out of the northwest at 7. Again, we're at 35 and going down to 28 in Midtown. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station, 1010 Winds.
No matter the weather, it's a perfect day to consider getting a COVID-19 booster as recommended by the CDC. Brought to you by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Wednesday News Time 4:34. The aptly named Lucky Jones is counting his blessings
The New Jersey native who graduated from Newark St. Anthony High School in 2011 had been playing professional basketball in Ukraine until the situation grew dire. Jones and his teammates took a bus to the Romanian border to try to leave the country, where he tells Bridget Quinn on 1010 Wins Newsline today. At first, they were only allowing women and children to cross.
Getting to the border was very hard. You know, we were there over 10 plus hours. We were standing on our feet for about 7 plus hours. And we actually didn't cross the border until about 3 a.m. Luckily, you know, they wasn't allowing no men from the ages of 18 to 60. And they wasn't trying to let us over as well, even though we had American passports. So it was very scary. One of the most scariest times of my life.
He says after 10 hours, he was allowed to go through. And he also tells us growing up in Newark was tough, but he'd rather be back home than dealing with the situation in Ukraine. MLB talks continued today for a final day of negotiations to end the lockout before MLB's deadline to salvage a March 31st start to the regular season. The sides agreed to meet this morning. At issue, money. The most contentious proposals involve luxury tax thresholds and rates and the size of the new bonus pool. How are things looking for a deal to be reached? MLB Network insider John Heyman spoke live on Newsline with Bridget Quinn earlier.
It will be reached at some point. Can I tell you that it's going to be reached today? I'm not sure about that. We're certainly going to make all efforts to get it done. Today is the deadline. If they are progressing, they'll work into tomorrow. To me, I think they were productive yesterday from what I hear, though they're far apart on a few issues. I kind of feel more hopeful about the situation, although I can't guarantee anything's going to happen today.
Players and owners have been in and out of meetings since about 10 this morning in Jupiter, Florida. At least one more session is planned for today, the 9th straight day of talks. A surprise announcement from Derek Jeter. After 4.5 years, the 5-time World Series champion will be stepping down as CEO of the Miami Marlins. He will also no longer be a shareholder. Jeter saying the vision for the future of the franchise is different than the one he signed up to lead. Miami went 218 to 327 during his 4 seasons at the helm, finishing with a winning record only once at 31 to 29 in the pandemic-shortened 2020 season. Wins News Time, 4:36. He's not only the president of Ukraine fighting against an invader, he's also a voice actor. 1010 Wins Entertainment News is next.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
Hey, remember 20 years ago I switched to Progressive? Well, now it's the future, and I used all those savings to buy this new hologram phone. Because, you know, it's the future, and everything is holograms now.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Fisher is different? How? Don't you just ride the wave?
Nope. We actively manage client portfolios based on our forward-looking views of the market. In times like these, we understand that clients want proactive communication and guidance.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We get to know our clients so we can tailor their portfolios to their specific goals and needs. We even offer resources on Social Security, Medicare, tax efficiency, and more. Our primary goal is to help them achieve a comfortable retirement.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions, right?
No, we don't sell commission products. Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, the highest standard for a financial advisor. It means we're there for our clients and always put their interest first.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, our fees are transparent, structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Wins News Time 4:38. Now 1010 Wins Entertainment News. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, a former comedian, is also a voice actor. He voiced the role of Paddington Bear in the Ukrainian version.
Paddington.
Oh, вибачте.
And with life imitating art, as an actor, Zelensky starred as a teacher who becomes president of Ukraine in 3 seasons of a show called Servant of the People. The series ended in 2019, the same year in which Zelensky launched and eventually won a real campaign to become president of Ukraine. Megan Thee Stallion, Doja Cat, Burna Joy joining a packed lineup of performers for the 2022 Wireless Festival lineup. That festival will be in July in London. WINS News Time 4:39.
Did you know color is vital to your health? I'm not talking about the color of the walls in your house or your clothes. I'm talking about the color of the food you eat. A colorful diet is a part of staying well because many nutrients are color. The antioxidant lycopene is the red pigment in tomatoes and pink grapefruit. Chlorophyll is excellent for balancing pH and cleansing the body. It's the green in kale, spinach, and broccoli. Eating a wide variety of fruits and vegetables provides your body with diverse chemistry it needs to heal itself and stay well. Eat the peelings of things like apples and carrots. Balance of nature is whole produce. It contains all the vital parts in balance. Color, taste, and smell keep you well. And that's what you get with Balance of Nature.
Start your journey. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com. Get free shipping and get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code New York.
You never have to wait for traffic news because only one station brings you breaking traffic news whenever it happens. New York's true traffic station, 1010 WINS.
The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 WINS. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon, 35 degrees at 4:40. I'm Monique Coppola. Here's what's happening. As fighting continues in Ukraine today, the first round of talks between Russia and Ukraine regarding a possible ceasefire. Another round of sanctions against Russia aimed at weakening the country's finances. Today, the Russian ruble's value has fallen 30% against the U.S. dollar. More sanctions on Russia, this time from the sports world. Former Governor Andrew Cuomo is out with an ad campaign to try and untarnish his image. Maybe he should use a dog or a cat. A new study finds when a pet is featured, people want to buy what you're selling. MLB owners say a deal must be done today or no opening day on March 31st. The Nets host Toronto, the Devils host Vancouver. AccuWeather says mostly clear, brisk and cold tonight. Overnight, we got a low of 28 degrees in the city, closer to 20 in some suburbs. WINS News Time 4:41. Traffic and transit. Here's Greg Rice.
Now, we're getting word of some police activity right now in Brooklyn on the eastbound side of the belt over near the Garrettson Inlet. Reportedly, some police activity leading to a lane closure or two. Getting through that stretch. Eastbound belt was already bad back from the Verrazano, only going to get worse. This is the eastbound belt just before Flatbush Avenue, that bridge before the Mill Basin Bridge. That's where all this police activity is. Elsewhere on the belt, westbound loaded to Lefferts, eastbound slows, getting over to Sunrise Highway. And here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels, the rest of them. Citybound side of the George is fine. Nothing easy on the outbound ride. Looks like the Deegan's starting to flare up either way. Over to Van Cortlandt Park again. Lincoln Tunnel into the city. It's about 15 minutes. Outbound 30 plus. Also 30 to 40 at the outbound Holland. 20 in from the Skyway, better. Off of the Newark Bay extension of the New Jersey Turnpike. Cross Island crossed up south the whole way from Francis Lewis Boulevard towards UBS. Southbound Clearview's not perfect, but as far as it carries you, it is going to be a whole lot better at this hour. Outer Bridge, everything has long since been reopened, but especially leaving Staten Island, it is still slow. So if you can go to the Goethals and the southbound New Jersey Turnpike,